me.
Hey Jesse, how you doing? Terrell
Good
here.
morning, Terrell. Sorry.
It's all good. Terrell here, Big Gold Belt Media. How you doing this morning?
I'm feeling good, man. Survived the New York City train to get here just 2 minutes late.
Oh
My
yeah,
God.
had to fight off a couple rats.
Oh, man, bro. They were trying to take all the pizza, everything, bro. Like, what are you doing? Leave me alone. I'm hungry.
Yeah, last time I was in New York, man, I think I saw one coming out of a Dunkin' Donuts and nobody was phased by it. I was just like, yeah, I think I'm good here.
You know what, dude? That rat knows karate. That's why. Mess with that rat. You got to claw your eyes out and kick you.
I don't take no chances. Don't take no chances. I want to say congratulations. First off, they just let me know
Thank
you
you.
just won the best narrative short, which honestly I'm not even surprised about.
Oh, my man. Thank you. There we go. Look at this. Can you believe it, bro? Somebody gave me something. I can't believe it.
Okay.
That's what I fended off those rats with. Thank you. Thank you. Very kind.
Yeah. I mean, I said, one of the things I can say, I always say about short films when I do interviews for them is you know it's good when you want more of it. You know it's good when you're like, man, I can see this as a full movie, or I can see this as a series of some sort. What was kind of the idea of like, or where did you get the the idea for this going into this?
I'm standing right next to where I am right now. And for some, I've worked in offices. I hate it, and it's not wrong. If the people are cool, it's great. It's just when it gets big and it gets bureaucratized, all this nonsense sets in. That's why movies like Office Space were so successful, because I think everybody's gone through this sort of inhumanity of that whole system. When way money floats up and creates, backbiting and fighting among people who should just probably be friends in another scenario. So I'm sitting here thinking about this petty shit, and hopefully I don't have to return to it. And I'm like, what if somebody were to go into the office just to try to show the other person up and be like, look how much earlier I am than you. And there was already the other person there, and they're like, bitch, I'm early. And from that, I'm like, well, who are these two people? And it just spirals, like the question upon question of like, why would they do this? And then the absurdity starts to come in because the whole thing is absurd. And I think putting something that's already absurd with absurd, it doesn't seem far from the truth. Even though it's insane, it's an insane thing to do. And I think we all kind of know, right? Like, this is nuts. So I'm happy to make something and take the piss out of something or mess with them, and because they deserve it, because it's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I laughed the entire way through the entire 6 minutes. I mean, even the credits. I mean, and just behind the scenes of it. I mean, this is incredibly shot. I mean, I'm sure this 6 minutes was hours. You know what I mean? Like just editing and stuff like that you had all together. But what did you shoot this with? Because it looked like you were shooting this with like iPhones, like stuff like that. Because I was like, man, the quality of this is incredible.
Thank you. That's all thanks to last October. I'm gonna give a plug to Sony, like they need the money, right? But I'm gonna do it. Last October, I got the FX3, right? The thing was like $4,000. I had it in Best Buy, open box for $3, never happens. And that lady's my new best friend. So I got this camera, credit cards, let's go, right? And I'm like, let's go to the races, because the quality coming off of this camera matched my style so perfectly. I could shoot at night with no image loss. If I got up the right lenses, which I did, I invest when I'm trying to do things. And then it's just like putting my mind around what looks good. And the crew on this, basically, with not discounting anybody that use a big crew, for the most part, it's just me. There ain't no crew. Like once in a while, my best friend or my partner will be there and just helping holding the script. But it's just, to me, it's all images and sounds, right?
Right.
That's all an audience sees. So they don't care if there's a best boy key grip. They care, is the movie good? So I hook or crook my way like that little rat you mentioned before to get that pizza. You got to do what you got to do to try to make people have a good time. That's all I care about, is that people have fun.
I mean, it's 100% a good time. And I feel like you do a really good job of encapsulating like the New York experience and like, guiding people through the subway, the routes they took, the Uber, how long it takes to get from a destination, even though it's 5 minutes away.
Crazy.
Because I've been in an Uber where a walk was 5 minutes, but the drive was 30, what I mean?
And you spent $400.
Right. So I felt all of that through the experience of this movie. Now let's talk about the your two leads here. Incredible actresses here, and I feel like they played off each other very very well. Like if they didn't know it, I don't know if they knew each other prior to this, but I could definitely feel the chemistry here. Like I'm like, man, are they actually friends? Or they just do really not.
That's amazing to hear because they didn't meet. I think until the office scene, which was like 8 days into shooting, they'd never met. So they had, and one of them had to come all the way from Atlantic City at 6 o'clock in the morning and during a heat wave. So it was crazy. Like, how are we going to get this at a bus stop? Hopefully the bus stop's empty, you know? And this is the first time they met 20 minutes before that bus stop scene. And I just picked my people very carefully. Like, I'm a vibe person. Like, I like cool, nice people. I have no tolerance for jerks. So I just knew I picked two people who are like massively talented. Jacinia, the older one, I worked with her like 10 years ago. And she's been in my mind forever because she's the next Bette Midler. She's amazing. And then Michelle worked with me with a few projects recently, and I just love them both so much and their talent. I'm like, yo, I got to put these two together. And I just knew. And the second they met, it was like, pop, 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 pop. I was like, okay, thank God. Right? Because you never know, it could be awkward. But it was amazing. And ever since then, they're like new besties, you know, which is ironic because the movie's about them kind of, and they compete in every time we do like a Q&A. Right. One would be like, I love you 1,000,000%. The other one would say, I love you 1,000,000% plus one. Like they still got that little gag going, but they're amazing. Thank you for that. They're lovely people. I want them to have success, man.
I feel like you also illustrate too that there is a such thing as healthy competition. Like they're you know, people act like, you know, you can't be competitive anymore. Somebody's feelings always hurt, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But even at the end of this, you know, it's still a game. Like it's still a competition. Like what time we get into the bar, you know what I mean?
Man. Like, well, I mean, people don't like. I kind of a big believer. People don't really change that much. You have an epiphany. They change. They're better people in the end. You realize they're actually have grown as characters, hopefully. And that's what the after credits thing does, right? Without spoiling it, it says that they're actually have changed each other through this horrible, stupid, petty experience. But no, I'm 100%, 1,000,000% actually believer in friendly competition. I think it's necessary, but there's a way we can rise together. Like I'm a karate guy from back in the day. Like we would all beat each other up, but we'd get better together. It was never meant to push people down. And a lot of the industry that I've encountered is that it's sort of the stepping on each other. That ain't my thing. I love working like nice people like yourself. I just love it. I think it's like that's the only way to be. Like that's the way I want to live my life. So I'm with what you're saying. You gotta level each other up.
Absolutely. Like I said, I mean, ain't got to be a hater all the time. You know what I mean? The idea. What was the idea of like you weaving the violin throughout the entire 6 minutes of the short film from start to finish? Like I
thought I was insane. Like when I came up with it, I'm like nuts. I'm fascinated with like these watcher characters, people who are like omniscient kind of God. We called her Lady Fate. I almost had to keep renaming her just so I understood it. And because my instinct was this is right the whole way through. But the logic said this is nuts. It's not going to work. And so it works in the final film, thank God, because during it, like who puts a violinist who's God and then she's there and then she's interweaving into the story. I just think it gave me a way to sort of put exclamation points on some parts so it could just cut to it. It also gave me a way for it to be the morality test of the end because of the way she interacts in the middle. And in the beginning, she's the heartbeat of the city. So it's really sort of like a little bit of an abstract character that became more solid as it went through. And it's one of my favorites. And some of my favorite moments in the film is like in the middle of just how I'm cutting to her because her vibes, it's Elizabeth Sung, her vibes are crazy. And she's an amazing player. So just having her there, bringing that, presence, it just made me happy, like more instinctually than anything else.
Right. She's definitely incredible. Like it was.
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
on her behalf, I'm not taking any credit for all about her. You know what
I'm
I'm
saying? Some of the characters that didn't necessarily get, as much focus, like some of the people that your main players are talking to, were they people you knew personally, or they were just like people are part of your
Are you talking which ones specifically? Are you talking about the causes?
The character she's talking to on the bench.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So basically, when you do something, this is my opinion, right? But when you make a short film, right? For me, every single element has to be great or perfect for it to work. You cannot have one actor come in and not be like really believable or part of the scene or not offer something because they all raise each other. Like the leads are successful because of all the supporting people around them. So even if I cast somebody for like a one line thing, like I'm really, really picky about who that is. They have to have the right vibe, the right temperament, no egos, and they got to be really good. Because you know, it said like you're messing with the queen, like you got to have that. I'm obviously a poor man's version of that, but she has that. That's Sherry Ellis, right? And she had to have that like flavor to be able to bring you into like this is a realistic relationship. Plus, the two friends start actually talking to each other through montage. They're competing as well, so I had to sort of sell their like counter chemistry, and then like Hillary Walker on the other side, and then my friend. So I've worked with some of them. Some of them got recommended, but Carrie Height, who played the causes guy. I worked for him for 10 years. We made YouTube videos and made millions of views by messing around being stupid. So, like, these are people that I pick over many years that I think are special. And karmically, I want them to be successful. I really want them to do well. So I kind of just spotlight them whatever I can. I'd rather have them be successful than me, to be honest with you, because I feel like giving is the best way to receive, in my opinion.
Jesse, we're gonna wrap it with this one because I'm you know, obviously the future is bright as hell for you right now.
You're very kind. Thank you.
Bitch, I'm early. Like I said, you know, it has a lot of energy. Like I said before, it encapsulates New York. But do you see yourself? Obviously, you know, now that you've obviously you know you could do this. This is, you know, I'm sure you put a lot of work into this. You, the crew, everybody. What is the next step for you, Jesse? Like, what you looking to do longer films, or you want to stick kind of in this area here and just kill the short film market?
Well, I think, look, I want to make feature films, and I'd also love to make TV shows. And I've written at different points like 8 features. I've made 2 independent ones. I've done a lot of different things in my past, but I'm loving this as a sort of like calling card to say, like, this is what I can do. This is the flavor of the bigger thing. With that said, I'm 80 or 90% done with production on the next one. And it's just as crazy, bro. In fact, it may be crazier than what I just did. And these characters may or may not make an appearance in their new job in the next film, because I love the idea of creating a universe.
Start the multiverse.
Yeah, like the multiverse of like shitty workplace situations. I don't know. I'm
He's
a little nuts.
New office videos for every job.
Exactly. You got to show them an orientation, get everybody fired on day one. Let's go. Appreciate you, man.
The only way to get ahead, right?
Oh God, kill me.
Thank you so much, Jesse.
My pleasure, dude.
I got to talk to you today. This was wonderful interview. I really appreciate the time.
Preach, dog, man. Have a great day. Reach out anytime, please. Appreciate you.
Thank you.